What up, what up? This is David from the 5-6 Kings podcast. And guys, I got a bone to pick this week. Because Business Insider released a fucking smear campaign on Subway founder, the late, great Fred DeLuca. Apparently, Business Insider, they interviewed some franchisees, some ungrateful franchisees, if you ask me. They're like, oh, he misran the company and, you know, he cheated on his wife a bunch. And like, who cares? He created a sandwich empire. I'm going to read you one of the quotes here. If you wore a skirt and had a pulse, Fred DeLuca would chase you down. What the fuck is this, Business Insider? Shame on you. Fred DeLuca can do no wrong. They interviewed his ex-daughter-in-law, who's like, I had to tell him out of respect for his wife to stop bringing his girlfriends around the kids. Like, who cares? Let him bring the girlfriends. Let him bring them in front of his wife. Show her, hey, you like those billions of dollars that I bring in? Yeah, this is my girlfriend Candy. She's a stripper. I'm Fred DeLuca. Guys, in 2015, we lost a hero in Fred DeLuca. And 6 years later, it saddens me, it hurts me to my core, that people who run franchises of his great company would go on record with a company with no journalistic integrity, like Business Insider, and they would drag his great name through the dirt. Shame on you, Business Insider. Shame on you, Subway franchises. And shame on you, Fred DeLuca's former daughter-in-law. Fred DeLuca's company is good enough for Tony Hawk. It's good enough for you. Subway, eat fresh. Get rid of these franchises. Tell them to go start a Jersey Mike's or a Jimmy John's. Get the fuck out of Subway. Get rid of them. Give us some money. Eat fresh.
This the Palm Beach County anthem. All my Palm Beach County niggas, y'all put them fucking guns in there and bust them shit. Bitch, I'm from Palm Beach County. This where I'm from. Where niggas get gunned down and left sluts on guns just for fucking round. This ain't a county for you bitches to come around.
What up? What up? And welcome to another episode of the 5-6 Kings podcast. My name is David Breen. With me, as always, Braden Bullard. Braden, how are you, man?
Hey, David. How you doing? We're back.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We're back to our roots.
Yeah.
This is the 5-6 Kings originals. We're breaking down the movies everyone knows and loves. And we got another classic this week.
Fucking classic.
We got the 1996 thriller, The Fan.
The Fan.
Starring Robert De Niro and Wesley Snipes. Braden, how we looking? How we looking on critics? How we looking on awards?
Oh, you want to hear the awards? All right.
Yeah, I want to hear the awards.
Well, they had one award.
Damn right they did.
And that, hold on. So really quick, let me throw out the reviews or what IMDb rated.
I mean, you started the award. Give the award. What
Well,
are we
no, I
doing?
can't.
What are we doing? Jumping around.
My bad. I can't find the award now. I'm like, fuck. Where's the award? No, I got the award right here.
I remember the award.
No, I got the award right fucking here. So, Blockbuster Entertainment Awards 1997 for favorite supporting actress in an adventure drama.
Real quick, favorite, not best.
Not best.
Okay.
Favorite. Winner. Ellen Barkin.
Ellen,
Let's give a round of applause for Ellen. Yes. She was Jules Stern. She was one of the talk show hosts of the radio
host.
Radio host. And yeah, I mean, fuck. The people voted and Blockbuster,
Blockbuster delivered.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, she actually did do a really good job. I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking like right in the beginning of the movie, she honestly pulled me right in. She was great as a radio host, and she has a good personality for it. So she immediately sucked me into the story and made me feel like I was actually listening to a radio host. And yeah, so let's go into the IMDb rating, which they gave it a fucking 5.9 out of 10.
Fuck you, IMDb.
Oh, it gets worse. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a fucking 37.
37?
30 fucking 7.
Dude, there aren't enough tomatoes to give this fucking movie. They're giving it a 37%.
And those are Rotten Tomatoes.
That's a joke.
And then the Metacritic, fucking assholes, they gave it a 32%.
Fuck them.
Fuck them. Yeah, whatever. But Google.
Let's hear Google. Google knows all.
Yeah, and this is just, the people speaking. And Google users, 85% like this movie.
That's what I'm talking about.
85%.
Good looks, Google.
That's an anonymous fucking vote system right there, and that tells all. I mean, yeah, because you could just click right here, which I did.
There
I'm
we
part
go.
of that 85% now.
Hey, if you're listening to this, go on to Google. Let's get them up in the 90s.
Yeah. Go ahead and give that fucking Google a like. All you got to do is look up The Fan 1996, scroll down a little bit on Google, and it's going to be off to the right. It's going to say 85% like this movie. You can give it a thumbs up, thumbs down. Hit that like.
All right, should we jump in?
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. So the movie starts in a pretty fun way. It's the opening credits. They're showing some pictures and stuff. And then we hear Robert De Niro's voice say the following. And bear with me because it's not short. Excited and anxious, I await my dream. To escape, applaud, and embrace my team. Opening day I always can trust. It's just for this high I crazily lust. Return of our hero does brighten the days. Just briefly my troubles get lost in a haze. The grace from the field arouses the crowd, reflects on the days when I was quite proud. I am more entranced than the average fan. I used to play, you see, and I know I still can. That time I drove the ball with such loft, my exit atop shoulders as they carried me off. This pastime and I just fade into one, expanded upon from father and son. My boy is young and awkward, for now. I just need the time, and I can show him how. I really am quite close, just break away from straightening things out and being okay. I can help my team to regain its glory with just a little twist to the same old story. Players say now they play for themselves. This causes a burning within me that dwells. The fan is the one who pays for the game, which bestows all the riches and welcomed fame. The players will listen, but really don't hear, all the while just hiding behind an invisible tear. I grow tired now of all this greed and chart a course to set things free. That's just giving you a little glimpse inside to the mind of what. So Gil Renard is the name of the character Robert De Niro plays, and he is just out of his freaking mind.
When I re-listening to you fucking say that, it is so fucked. Like in the beginning when I first heard it and Robert De Niro say it, I was thinking like, okay, this is like, I'm trying to get a feel for this movie. This is my first time watching it. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird. I mean, okay, so Hans Zimmer is, one of the main producers, for the music, the soundtrack. And I felt like there was a little bit of contradicting vibes in the beginning. I mean, they're literally, okay, so as David was saying, this poem, or Robert De Niro, they were showing in the background pictures, I'm guessing, of, Gil's past, of him doing well in little leagues and stuff. It's like kids playing, and you don't know if it's him or not, but that's what, I would assume. And it, it is. And I just think that's fucking wild that they're going to be showing the kid, they're going to be saying this poem in the beginning, and it's almost like that's the ending. Like, do you think he wrote that before or after everything happened? Because obviously it's his character.
I think Robert De Niro wrote that poem 30 years before this movie was made. I want to believe that Robert De Niro is this character. I want to believe that was just a poem he had written, and then they were like, we got to make a movie.
Yeah, the whole movie bases around this fucking poem.
That is what I hope.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it coming from fucking Peter Abrams. Am I right? or Tony Scott? Fuck.
Tony Scott.
Jesus. But no, yeah. And then, so contradicting vibes. I mean, you got Hans Zimmer, and then they're throwing the pictures of the kid in, and then like out of nowhere, they're zooming up on these photos of this kid like having a great time at the fucking game, and then like they're turning it like weird colors as if it's like this, like all of a sudden this like weird psychological thing. Like you should be worried about this kid, like he's about to turn super evil. Like they put this weird spin on it, and then they put these sound effects in that make it like the, it's psychological thriller. It's like these weird sounds, but it's like as he's saying this nice poem, even though it is a weird poem, but they have like other music in the background that painted a completely different vibe. And like I'm going into this movie thinking, what the fuck am I watching? Because they got this fucking kid having, it's almost like if you watch one of those ghost shows, or you know what I'm saying, like one of those ghost shows where they
like ghost hunters.
Yeah, like ghost hunters, and they're like pause framing shit, and then they'll fucking like change the colors of it, and then like that makes it scarier. Like that's what they did in the beginning during like the fucking poem. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Is this like ghost baseball or something? Psychological thriller? Okay, Robert De Niro's gotta be fucking crazy.
And then so the movie goes from that to it shows a shot of downtown San Francisco. Rolling Stones' Sympathy for the Devil starts playing, and he's riding. So he has not a minivan, like a regular size van that's just decked out in giant stuff. He has a Giants watch, and he's calling into a radio station. And his watch is going off, and he's like, what's that noise? He's like, oh, it's my Giants watch. It's going off. Means I'm late for work. And he's talking about Bobby Rayburn. Bobby Rayburn, a Bay Area kid, won a World Series in Atlanta the year before. He's coming back home, signed a $40 million contract. Bobby Rayburn's played by Wesley Snipes, who knocks it out of the park.
Yeah.
But and they're like, well, Gil, we got a surprise. Maybe you stick around, and we're going to try and get Bobby Rayburn on the phone. And he's like, oh, really? He's like, okay. And he sticks around. You can tell he's weird about it.
Yeah.
And they get Rayburn on the phone. Jewel is the name of the character, the actress. She's the one who won the Blockbuster Award.
Yeah. She's been great. I didn't think she was going to be throughout the whole movie, but she was.
Oh, she stuck on. She had some staying power.
Yeah.
But she immediately just starts jumping on Bobby Rayburn. She's like, you really think you're worth $40 million? Let's talk about your divorce. And then Gil just jumps in. He's like, Jewel, why are you busting his balls so much? You want to talk about his divorce? You want to talk about this? It's like, Bobby, I've been a fan of yours since you were, he says, like, you won the city championship, which I think is Little League. He's like, since you won the city championship in 1978.
Which is wild.
I've been a fan of yours. I've been waiting for this day ever since then. You're going to win it. And Bobby Ram's like, yeah, I am, Gil. You my man. Like, they're going back and forth. They're getting pumped.
Which is wild, though, that they're going to start the movie, too, with, Robert De Niro's character kind of having, like, a fucking awesome day. Like, he was super surprised that they were going to put him on the phone with Bobby Ray. And it's, like, great cross-cutting, editing, and foreshadowing and everything. But, I mean, what a way to kind of, like, start this weird vibe between the two. And I was kind of surprised. Well, I guess I'll get into that part. But, yeah, I was kind of... surprised that I guess I'll say that later. I don't want to.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, we'll get to what surprises Braden when we get to what surprises Braden. So the call ends. Gil's like, oh, what a great day. They go their separate ways. Bobby goes into the locker room, realizes he doesn't have number 11 anymore. He has number 33. He's like, where the fuck's my number 11? They're like, Primo, which is played by Benicio del Toro. Primo wears number 11. He's like, give him my fucking number back. He's like, I'm making $40 million. Go get me that number. And his manager, Manny, what's the actor who plays Manny? He's in kind of a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah. John, I know I'm going to say his last name wrong, which is how most people even fucking...
You just go for it.
Leguizamo.
Leguizamo. John Leguizamo. Yeah, you nailed it. You nailed it. He's like, yeah, let me see what I can do. And then they go to Gil, and Gil is in a big conference room at his job. And his boss is like, we're getting some complaints from the salesmen that they don't think the quality of our knives is good. And he puts it in front of Gil. He's like, Gil, what do you see? And he just shits all over the knife. He's like, blah, blah, this is wrong, this is wrong. And then his boss, there's a car door he picks up off the ground, just puts on the table, and just starts stabbing holes into the car door. And he's like, the knife works fucking fine to me. What do you guys think? Bananas.
Yeah.
Bananas. Everyone leaves, and he's like, Gil.
Tough business in the fucking...
Yeah. It's a cutthroat game in the knife business.
Yeah.
And he's like, Gil, hold on, Gil. Don't you leave. he's like, your numbers got to get up or you're going to be gone. Like, the board wanted to fire you last month. I convinced them to keep you around. Your numbers need to get up. And he's like, hey, what's the deal with my opening day tickets? I promised them to a client. And he's like, the old ways of doing business doesn't work, Gil. All right, you don't. He's like, I have a reputation to uphold. He's like, no, you don't. No one cares about your reputation. Just sell some fucking knives. So he leaves.
And that's like one of the first things where you can kind of see a little bit of buildup of tension in Robert De Niro's character and like this internal conflict that he doesn't know how to like express. Like you just see it kind of like build up. That's like the first one I would say.
Oh, he's furious, but he doesn't really say anything to him. Yeah, he just kind of walks out. And then they show players. Jewel is there. They're back to Bobby Rayburn. They're at Candlestick Park, and it's like a media thing. All the players are in the stands, and they're like, hey, Bobby, how about a picture? He's like, why don't you get one with me and Primo? And so big thing, when the Giants signed Bobby, he's staying in center field. Primo moved over to right field. So they walk up to each other, and Primo says, I hope you enjoy center field. He says, I hope you enjoy right field. Then they take the picture. Jewel is there, and she asks Manny, she's like, hey, I want an interview with Rayburn. He's like, no fucking chance. He's like, the first time you talk to him, you're like, you're not worth $40 million. Let's talk about your divorce.
Yeah.
Just get out of here. And then we go back to Gil, who is trying to sell knives. And he's at like some store. And he walks up. He's talking like the big boss in like one of those offices above the department store.
Yeah.
Type deal. And he's up there and he's talking to him. The boss the whole time is just watching the security cameras. And it's zoomed in on women's tits. And he's trying to talk him into the certain knives, and the guy's like, "Nah, I don't want the knives. We have a deal with some other company. I can't have them with you."
What's great is like the shot of them fucking on the woman. It's like this camera's following him, for her, or as if he's like at the joystick, and it's just like
it's like it's zooming in.
Yeah,
and
like and he's just like laid back, chin tucked, like looking like a straight pervert.
The whole time he doesn't look at De Niro when De Niro's talking to him.
Yeah, one time. And which you like all these things are actually good in a way for Robert's character, for us to like start to feel like almost sympathize for him or something like that, feel for him, or kind of almost make excuses as to why he ends up becoming like such a fucking crazy dude. But I mean, no excuse, but Jesus Christ.
And so he does the sale pitch, and the guy's like showing him the knives he already has, and the guy's like, oh, look at these knives I already have. And De Niro's like, man, sorry I can't get your business. You look like you know what you're doing. And he starts packing the stuff up, and the guy's like, you have any kayaks? And De Niro goes, what'd you just say to me? Kayaks. He's selling kayaks. He goes, what the fuck do kayaks have to do with knives, huh? What the fuck's wrong with you? Why are you bringing up kayaks right now when I'm trying to talk to you about knives? Like, just 0 to 100.
Literally. And the guy, like, doesn't really miss a beat either. I mean, this dude is really fucking focused on this bitch's tits. I mean,
he does not look away.
Yeah, he still does it. And like, Robert still takes more, offense to it, and just, like, keeps speaking up more and more. Like, you're fucking... I don't know exactly what he said, but he started, like, basically just cursing the dude out, which I thought was, almost reasonable. But it was kind of funny, though, that the dude was still just staring at the girl's tits, just like, whatever. Like, this guy doesn't even know Robert is about to fucking kill this guy. And he's like, yeah, fuck it, these tits look great on my fucking security dude.
But so he leaves the store, and he's in his van, and there's a guy on the side of the road holding up a sign that says opening day tickets. He pulls over to him. He said, you got 2 behind home plate? And the guy goes, yeah, it's $200 a piece. He's like, 200, that's a lot. I'll do maybe $150 a piece. And the guy's like, get the fuck out of here. He's like, all right, fine, 200. And he says a line that I really like. It's like him and the guy talk shit back to each other.
Yeah, this is
and then De Niro says to him, you know what bugs me about guys like you? You don't even like the game.
Yeah.
He drives away.
Which says a lot, though.
It says so much.
You don't really know then, but it fucking says a lot. It shows you why he cares so much, what he cares about and why he cares so much, which ends up being a whole thing.
Yeah.
In the movie.
So he is late for his 4:00 appointment with the biggest account. because he yelled at that guy and stopped to. Go ahead.
No. Actually,
Stop to buy the tickets.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he shows up. He's late, and he's like, "Yeah, he left. We could do 2:30 tomorrow." And he's like, 2:30. It's opening day. You know, I got tickets. I'm bringing my boy. I'm trying to be a hero to my kid. You know. And she's just kind of like, he's a busy man. That's all he's got. He's leaving for a flight to Chicago at 3. I don't know what you want me to say. And he's like, 2:30. He's got nothing else. Like, it's uncomfortable how he's just like, could you check? Does he have anything else? She's like, he doesn't have anything else, man.
Yeah.
2:30. That's what he can do.
Yeah.
And he's gone for 3 weeks. So what do you want? He's like, all right, 2:30. All right, deal. And he sets the appointment.
Yeah, and that's another part. Like, all these scenes, I actually think they did a great job with building up this internal conflict within Robert De Niro. Obviously, his character, Gil, has, like, you know, fucking psychological problems beyond his experiences and situations. But they do a great job of adding how, you know, he's like a volcano that's going to fucking explode. And you keep seeing that through all these scenes. So I do think that in the movie they do a great job at setting up this fucking internal conflict in Gil's character.
Oh, absolutely. It's a ticking time bomb. And just like it builds and builds and builds.
Yeah.
So back to Wesley Snipes, Bobby Rayburn.
Mm-hmm.
His agent set up, he's going to go see a sick kid in the hospital. And he shows up, kid's real sick, like looks like he's about to die.
Yeah.
And first thing Wesley Snipes does Bobby Rayburn is bald in this movie. First thing he does goes, we got the same haircut to the kid, like trying to just cut loose at the kid. The kid goes, are you sick too? He goes, nah, I'm not.
Yeah, there's always some type of awkward line. Anytime they put something like that in a movie or show or anything, there's always a very beginning awkward line that just sets up the worst fucking interaction. But it ended up being meaningful. I mean, he ended up, you know, giving him a bat and stuff like that. And
gives the kid a bat and asks him his name, and the kid said it's Sean. He's like, that's my son's name.
Yeah.
And then the kid's like, Mr. Rayburn, will you do me a favor? He goes, yeah, what's up? He's like, will you hit a home run for me tomorrow? And he's like, I'll try. I'll try, bud. And see, then they walk out, and he looks at his agent. He's like, they said he was sick. The kid's about to fucking die. What are they doing? Put me in there. Like, now I gotta hit a home run for him. This is bullshit.
Which is funny though, because it's like Bobby Ray's character is like, man, I can't do this shit no more, man. This is too much for me.
Yeah. I can't take this stress.
I can't take it. I can't go help someone who's dying and like make them feel better in their last moments. That's too much for me. I got all this pressure now. I got to go hit a home run. Which I just, for some reason, thought was like hilarious.
It's great. It's so great.
It's like fucked up, but.
And then so the next morning, it's opening day. Bobby is in a hotel with some Asian girl, and he gets a phone call from his agent.
Never saw her again, which is funny because like right after that they set up the whole situation with his son. But go on.
I mean, he's a pro ball player. He's just slamming ass whenever he can. He's the Fred. He's the Fred DeLuca of baseball.
True, but
he's just getting it wherever.
They didn't make his character, other than that one scene, seem like that. But yeah.
Well, life it changed him, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That home run.
So, and his agent had some bad news for him. He said, talk to Primo's people. He wants $500,000 for the jersey number. And he's like, I'm not doing that. It's a fucking jersey. I'll wear 33, whatever. And that scene becomes a bigger deal down the road, but that's
crazy. Should have just paid it.
Should have just been like, done. And then we cut to Gil.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Gil is picking up his son, the wife. He calls his wife's boyfriend Ted, and he's like, it's Tim, actually.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the wife, his ex-wife, is like, what time are you going to have him back? And he looks at his kid. He goes, well, that all depends, bud, doesn't it? Depends on the game. She goes, if he's not here at 6:05, I'm calling the police. I'm back by 6. I'm against this completely. 6:05, and I call the police.
And now I'm thinking, at this part of the movie, I'm like, okay, what did Gil's character do so bad at this point? Yeah, I'm like honestly feeling for him right now, because at this point they don't, the movie doesn't give any reason as to why, like, you know, this is set up the way it is. Like, why the mom seems to be like that, you know, and all he wants to do is take his son out to a game. Later, we find out why his mom is probably so defensive. But I do want to say really...
She also said something where she said, don't make him do things he doesn't want to do.
Yeah, and then...
with no context there.
Yeah,
He's like, I don't make you do things he doesn't want to do. What are you...
Which is wild. But and then so a little bit after that, what's funny is the kid immediately pops out a fucking knife. He's like, I thought your mom confiscated that.
He's like, she did. And he smiles.
So that's my boy.
They're riding in the van to opening day, and he's playing Rolling Stones. He's a big Rolling Stone fan, and he says Mick, like him and Mick Jagger are friends, and he does it a few times throughout the movie.
Yeah.
But and his son said, Jason Pellegrini's dad says Mick Jagger's gay. And Robert De Niro looks furious. And he says, well, Jason Pellegrini's dad takes it up the fucking ass.
But now you're starting to see a little bit more of his true colors, you know?
Oh, yeah. And his son tells him that his tryouts are next week. And he goes, I can't believe your mother didn't tell me. He's like, what are you going to do with the tryouts? And the kid's like, keep my bat low. He goes, no, high, keep the bat high. The kid goes, keep my bat high. Step on the eggshell, squash the bug. So that's his swinging coaching. It's like step on the eggshell, squash the bug.
But who told him that?
Coop. Oh, he brings up Coop a lot,
which is awesome because like they did a good job about that. They did it at the right times and everything. And every time they said it, I was like, who the fuck is Coop? And how is this going to be strung together? Like how fucked up is something going to be with Coop?
You know what would have been great?
Huh.
So spoiler, we meet Coop later in the movie. But if we just never met him.
Yeah.
It just never happened.
That popped in my mind too. Like, what if there's nothing with Coop? And I just like build it on my own fucking excitement.
But so you can tell like the kid doesn't love being like he loves his dad and like wants to be closer with him. You can tell there's like an uncomfortable like I don't really like being around him. Oh, he has a glove. He has a glove and it's a nice like new glove. He's like, where'd you get that glove? He goes, Tim bought it for me. He goes, it's a piece of shit glove. Like, it's just such an asshole. But so they're at the game,
which I was thinking. I remember thinking when that happened, I was like, that's a nice thing.
Yeah,
look at that.
Like, oh, that was nice of Tim. Yeah. A normal person would be like, oh, that was nice of Tim.
Yeah,
like whatever. I should step it up as a dad, I guess. If I feel insecure about Tim getting him a new glove, I should be a better father.
Yeah.
Not just put down the glove, but
Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, Happy Father's Day. They're at the game. They're at their seats. Did you notice anything about their seats?
When they're at the game?
Just where their seats are.
No, I didn't.
They're not behind home plate.
Oh, yeah.
He paid $200 per ticket to get seats behind home plate.
Yep.
And he's on the third baseline. They're great seats.
Yeah.
They're good. Like, I wouldn't complain getting those seats, but they're not behind home plate.
Yeah.
It's the third baseline. It's bullshit. That guy
that
guy doesn't even care about the game.
But why does he want to be behind home plate? I didn't realize that either until like later on.
So it's just like I like sitting behind home plate.
Oh, well.
It's just you're in the middle. You got
true.
Yeah.
I was just thinking
you're not
because
on
the
one
whole
side of the
pitching,
field.
The whole pitching thing. You know what I'm saying?
It could be, but he wasn't behind home plate, and he also didn't fuss about not being behind home plate.
Yeah.
Like sitting behind home plate is just
but
the way to go.
This is a great scene though to set up for his actual character.
Yeah, so the whole game, the kid's like, "Can I get a hot dog?" And he's like, "What?" He's like, "A hot dog," and I don't even know if he got him a hot dog.
No, he did.
Did he? He got him a hot dog.
He's scraping
it with the knife.
Yeah.
Yeah, he keeps getting his son shit that he doesn't want. We'll get to it later, but like he got him a hot dog with stuff on it he didn't want. He's scraping it off.
Yeah,
like,
the pizza with the yeah.
So they're there, and the kid's not paying super close attention. You can tell it's annoying Gil, and he's like, "Hey, pay attention! Come on!" And there's a play. It's a fly ball to like the gap between center and right field. Bobby Rayburn's calling it. Primo's calling it. They collide. Rayburn still makes the catch, but his number 11 chain comes off, and it's out in the field.
And then he like bruised his ribs or something like that.
He bruised his ribs. He hurt himself. But Gil looks at his son and said, "Fundamental of baseball. Center fielder makes the call." Coop taught me that.
He caught the ball, by the way.
Yeah, he caught it. It was a great play. It was a great play.
But immediately after they take, because he got hurt, they take him to the back. Wesley Snipes' character, Bobby Ray, and he's like talking to Manny, which is his agent, and and his agent's like, man, you got to get back out there, man. They put $40 million in your first game. You got to get back out there.
Oh, no, you're wrong. You're wrong.
What do you mean?
Manny's telling him not to play.
No, Manny said...
Manny's telling him you got 161 more games.
Nobody said you can't be getting hurt like that, but he said you got to go back out there. I'm telling you, bro, we could watch it. He said you got to get back out there because then they're going to think that, like, you're not going to be playing for the rest of the season or something like that. But he's like, you can't be getting hurt and making plays like that in the center field. Like miss the ball or, like, just let the other dude catch it or something like that is, like, what I got from him.
Manny literally says you need to not play the rest of this game. Let him pull you from this game. If you start playing hurt, by the end of by Memorial Day, you'll be batting like 160, and they'll be booing you here. They're gonna turn on you. Let him pull you from the game. That's what Manny says.
Oh, man, I could have.
Yeah, Manny said they're paying you $40 million. You got 161 more games.
Get back out there.
No, because Bobby Rayburn says I can't not play because of you. I got to be fucking Babe Ruth and go hit a home run for a sick kid.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
I promise you, Manny's telling him
watch that scene.
Yeah, Manny's telling him not to play because he's got more games. He's like, no, fuck that, and he gets like a injection for the pain, and he goes back out there. Gil keeps like looking at his watch and stuff because he has that 2:30 appointment.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps looking at his watch and he's like kind of pacing back. He keeps trying to leave, but then coming back. There's a foul ball, and he shoves his kid. And then, like, runs over, and a little kid catches it, and he, like, grabs the little kid's arm like he's going to steal the ball from him, but notices everyone's watching, like, he won't be able to pull it off. He's like, all right. And he's walking back. He's like, lucky play. The wind took it. Lucky. Blah, blah, blah. He keeps standing up and cheering for Bobby, and people behind him are like, hey, sit down. Sit down. He's yelling back at those people. And there's this old woman who keeps noticing him. Like, she keeps noticing him, and she looks disgusted. And this is going on for a couple minutes, and then he notices the old woman. He goes, the fuck's your problem, you old bag?
Yeah, and then there was it was the same game, too, where I think right before that, he was about to get in a fight with the dude right behind him, and then the dude right behind that guy stood up and was like, hey, both of you sit the fuck down.
Yeah, and people cheer that guy.
Yeah,
people are like, yeah.
Yeah.
And he gives a bow to the crowd and then sits down. So the bases are loaded. There's like a big thing. He's like, whoa, wait, what I miss? He's like, bases are loaded. We're going to get a grand slam here. And Gil says, don't get too greedy. Sacrifice. Sacrifice the most important play in baseball. Coop always taught me that. Because you give yourself up, but it doesn't affect your batting average. That's why baseball is better than life. Because baseball's fair.
Wow.
Like, just the fucking crazy thing to say to your kid.
Insane to say. Because it also just shows more of his character. And it's like, Jesus, bro. Like,
yeah, no, it's fucking insane.
Baseball is obviously his, like, only escape route for feeling, like, alive in life or something. Yeah. You know, like, fuck.
It's fair. It's better
fair,
than life.
Yeah.
Baseball's fair. So, and he's saying this. Bobby's up. Bobby hits a grand slam. And then he leaves the game with his son in the stands because he's got to make the 2:30 appointment.
Which he told his son, he's like, I got to go make a call or something.
He's like, I got to go make some work calls. Just
10, 15 minutes or something.
Yeah, 10. I'll be right
to
back.
The city.
Yeah. He's driving across the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah. I'm like, how did he even make it back in time for, like, the ending of the game? I'm like, holy shit.
So he leaves, gets to the appointment, and he's a few minutes late. And she's like, I'm sorry, Mr. Renard. He left for the game. He goes, what do you mean game? I thought he had a flight to Chicago. It's like, plans change. He got tickets for opening day. And he's like, oh, fuck. Like,
Did she say behind the catch?
She didn't say behind home plate. No, that'd be great.
Yeah.
So you got two tickets behind home plate for opening day.
I almost feel like she did.
I don't remember her saying it. She could have.
That would be fucking wild.
But he is just, he's very upset and just leaves, hurries back to the game. Game isn't over, but his son's gone.
Yeah.
Which, you know.
Well,
like,
he's super sketchy, but, like, I don't know. When we end up finding out that the old woman.
So he goes to his ex-wife's house, and the old woman's sitting in the living room drinking tea.
Fucking like Kermit.
But you know what? Like, let the kid watch the whole game and then bring him home.
which is what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like, if you're
I'm
the
on
old
Gil's
woman,
side
yeah.
with this.
Yeah, like if you're the old woman, I mean, just maybe sit next to him or something like that, and like finish up the game or something. I don't know.
Also, Gil shows up with pizza and soda.
Yeah.
Which means, how long was that old woman sitting at the house drinking tea?
Oh, for fucking
Was she
hours.
waiting for him to show up?
Yeah.
She was like, I just love it here. This is
Yeah, yeah.
fun. This tea is amazing. Keep
I gotta see
coming.
his reaction since he said fuck me or whatever.
He said, "What's your fucking problem, you old bag?"
Yeah.
So,
Oh my God.
so he shows up at the house. He pushes back past Tim and shoves his ex-wife to the ground. Goes into his son's
Hey, she was in
room.
the fucking way.
She was. She's like, "Let me see." She's like, "No, you can't see him. I'm getting a restraining order. Tim, call the cops right now." And he throws her to the ground, goes and locks himself in his son's room, brings his son pizza. He's like, "I got your favorite pizza, pepperoni and mushrooms." He's like, "I don't like mushrooms." She's like, "Well, you can take them off."
Scrape 'em off.
Yeah, like, I got your favorite. He's like, I don't even like half the toppings. Like,
He's like, I'm not even allowed to drink Coke.
Yeah, and he's like, well, the door's locked. I don't think anyone's gonna find out. So he.
But yeah, they're just like banging on the door the whole time, trying to get into the room. And he's just not.
He keeps yelling, "It's open!"
Yeah. He's
Like,
fucking
no,
like
it's
lying
not.
to Tim. And then they just cut to him. Where's he at now? He's walking. The next scene of Gil's character.
He's walking into work.
Yeah. And this is when he's getting fired, right?
Yeah, he's walking into work, and like there's some salesmen like yucking it up in the conference room, laughing, talking it up, and then his boss is like, "Hey, Gil, you got a minute?" He's like, "It's 8:00. I got a minute if you do," which I don't know what that meant, but it felt like a fuck you.
Yeah.
And they go in there, and the guy's like, whatever account wanted to leave us, I had to send whatever the guy's name.
Yeah.
Your biggest account wanted to leave us, I had to send Jim over there to smooth things over and keep him.
He's like, you sent Jim?
Yeah, he's like, you sent Jim, and he gave him my opening day tickets. What are you going to do about this? And he's like, I told him to go. He's like, you're fired, Gil. And Gil's like,
Yeah, it's like this realization of like, oh my God, it's my own boss who's doing this to me.
yeah, and he's like, my father started this company. And he goes, as a friend of your father's, whatever, like, your father wasn't a businessman.
And neither
are you. Yeah.
And that is when I honestly was like, you know what? Whatever fucking Gil's character does from here, I'm with it. So, I'm here for it. I'm hot. I'm hot, coach. I'm hot. I get it, all right? He wants to throw some fucking pitches. He wants to play baseball again. Let him do his thing,
he's
all
got to
right?
throw his best pitch.
Yeah.
So he's fired out. His boss says, Gil, people are afraid of you. People are afraid of you, Gil. And this is the same. So people are afraid of him. But this is the same boss that was stabbing a car door in the first scene he was on.
And what's funny is in that scene, Gil's character was the calmest fucking one. He was in the back corner, like, didn't fucking blink. Like, yeah, it was a little weird that he didn't really react to his fucking boss, like, murdering a fucking side door. But, like, everyone else kind of jumped in their seats.
Gil's just sitting there. He's like,
And that's, yeah.
all right, you know what? That knife's all right. So you're right.
I just think it's funny that that dude's going to tell Gil that everyone around the work office is scared of him.
Yeah.
When
But you
he's
know what?
fucking stabbing doors.
But you know what? They definitely are.
Yeah, no,
For sure.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So Gil's got kind of a shithole apartment. Looks like it's in a motel. Like
Yeah.
it's not a great area. And a guy's banging on his door, and he's saying, "Hey man, you got that Giants van? Some kids are breaking into it. They're breaking into your van." And he opens it, and the guy's like, "Here, take this." He has a piece of paper. He's like, take it. And he goes, I don't want to take it. And the guy like puts it in his hand, and he's like, your wife has a restraining order against you. You've just been served. And then he goes close the door. The guy's like, can I use your bathroom? He's like, no, get the fuck out of here. But, like, I love how the server's like, can I use your bathroom? I really gotta go.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. Straight from getting the restraining order, the next scene is him at his son's Little League tryout.
Oh, yeah.
Which he is not supposed to be at. And he's there, and first pitch the coach throws, his son swings and misses, and Tim goes, it's all right. I can't think of the kid's name.
We start.
Tim, the mom's boyfriend, says, it's all right. You'll get the next one. And Gil goes, it's not all right. He's throwing too fucking hard on him. He's like, hey, coach, why don't we let the kids play the game and you just throw the ball? Like, he's yelling at the coach. The coach is trying. He's like, all right. He's like trying to ignore it. And the coach throws another, and the kid doesn't get it, and he walks out to the field. He grabs a bat. Tim goes over and tries to like, Gil, stop it, get out of here. Gil like pulls back,
Acts
like
like
he's gonna hit him in the
yeah.
head. He's like, I'm gonna fucking squash your head in the left field.
Jesus fucking Christ.
What's that? Goes up, switch in, like weighs the bat, and he goes, "The bat's too big, coach. It's swinging him." And the mom comes out, and she's like, "No, the kid's sobbing. The kid is just sobbing, so uncomfortable, so scared."
Yeah. And what's fucked is like, I feel like I've seen this in my own real life. Like, there's always some crazy fucking parent that's like storming the field at like some little league fucking practice and grabbing the kid, yelling at the coach, teaching him how to fucking grip the bat, getting kicked out the park. Like, I've seen it. I've seen that shit. I've experienced it. It felt so bad for the fucking kids, bro. I'm like, Jesus.
It would be the worst.
Yeah.
It'd be the fucking worst. I couldn't imagine having that
And then the
happen.
dad leaves and you got to go back to practice.
Yeah. It's like, all right. But so the dad...
Oh, so really quick, the kid is his name is Richie in the
Richie.
film, and he's played by Andrew J. Furchland.
All right, I don't care about the actor's
Well,
name.
the kid did great.
But Richie...
Kid's fucking
And-
crying on cue.
Yeah,
right?
the kid's just sobbing. And so Gil switches out the bats. The mom's standing there. She's like, "Get out of here. You got to be 100 yards away from us. Get out of here." She's screaming. He's like, "I just want to tell him one thing. I just want to tell him one thing." And he's like, "Look, remember what Coop told us?" He said, "Step on the eggshell, squash the bug." All right? That's all I wanted to tell him. And then he looks at Tim. He goes, "You're fucking lucky."
Which Tim is played by another good actor, Chris Mulkey. You guys have seen him around. Just thought I'd say that.
Chris Mulkey.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a fucking phenomenal scene because then you really start to see Robert's character's tipping point. Like, he is on the fucking line of just crossing over.
Oh, the wheels are starting to come off.
And now the suspense is like, oh, fuck, whatever happens next scene is the fucking, it's it. Now you're like really starting to feel the thriller of like the psychological fucking.
And so the next scene, he's like watching, it's either a Giants game is on or it's Giants highlights, and Bobby Rayburn's not playing well. But a theme starts here where every time Gil sees Bobby Rayburn, the song Closer by 9 Inch Nails starts playing.
I didn't notice that.
Which is I Want to Fuck You Like an Animal, is that song. They don't play that part of it, but they play different parts of it. It's a creepy song, and that starts playing every time he sees Bobby Rayburn or if he's talking to him or hears his voice, that song starts playing, which is so great.
You think that was, I bet that was fucking Robert De Niro's choice.
Absolutely.
Just like the poem. Like,
Absolutely.
He's like, this is.
It was the poem, and then that song came out,
This
and
is
he's
the
like,
song.
we got a movie.
Yeah.
We got a movie. We got my poem. We got the song.
I'm
We're
just
good
going to
to
send
go.
the producers
And
just
he-
these two things.
And here's the thing. Robert De Niro specifically was like, and it can't be played by anyone but Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
He's like, it has to be Wesley Snipes. So, but he's sitting he's playing with one of his knives, and there's a big cockroach going up the wall.
Yeah, this is like a fucking obnoxiously big cockroach.
Yeah, and outside of his apartment, there is a Hasidic Jew man and his cat. Don't know why this was part of the movie, but the guy's walking by, and De Niro throws the knife on the wall, and it gets the cockroach, but the knife sticks through the wall. And the guy wasn't scared or anything. He just kind of looked and shook his head and kept
I think
walking.
they added that to kind of add to where his character was at, but also another kind of thriller moment because it was suspenseful. Like, they built up the music and everything for him to fucking kill a cockroach, because you almost think, oh, this knife's gonna go through the fucking wall and kill this dude walking by with his cat. Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, oh man, this fucking random dude's gonna die and he's gonna have to fucking bury some random dude's body because he tried to kill a fucking cockroach. Doesn't realize his strength with throwing knives. I'm like, what the fuck is about to happen? But yeah, it was a good little moment for his character.
It was, and that song got introduced to us.
Yeah.
And then it shows, so the song's playing the whole time, I believe, through this whole part, because it then shows it's his boss taking a cover off of his car.
Oh yeah.
And the hood has just been stabbed a bunch of times, and there's a knife sticking out of it.
Which would have been great because he could have reacted anyway. It would have been great if he reacted hey, it's a nice knife or something. Not scared, more impressed by the
Looks at it,
knife.
he's
Oh yeah,
it's good. It's
You
good
know?
material.
And he's stabbing fucking car doors all the time. I'm sure he's not surprised by his hood, but
So then
the boss is like, let's get him back. Let's get him back.
You know what?
That's a
Gil's
good way
got
to
something.
sell. That's the way to sell. You got your job back.
Yeah, congratulations, man. This is what you were missing.
At Gil's tipping point, like now he's like that would have been great for his character because now his character doesn't know what the fuck to do.
He would not have taken the job. So you got your job back and be like, no, I am past that, sir.
No, we just need you to stab doors all the time, cars and everything. You think you could do that? Gil's like, fuck, maybe.
So now De Niro's just seemingly going to every game. I don't know where he's got baseball
now
ticket
he's-
money. He's going to every
Been
game.
saving up his whole fucking life for this one
just
season.
go to this season.
Yeah.
But so every time Bobby Rayburn comes out to bat, he's having a horrible month. He's batting 183. Every time he comes up, the crowd's booing him, except for Gil. Gil's cheering. He's like, "Attaboy, Bobby! Let's get it back going!" Like, he is the only one in the crowd. People are like, "Boo! Shut up!" He's like, "Oh, fuck you! Bobby's the man."
He is the fan.
He's the fan.
Yeah.
And this is real quick. This is a month into the season.
Yeah.
He's just getting booed. Like, I couldn't imagine
Never.
being a baseball fan, no matter how bad a player's playing, a month into the season of a new, I assume, $40 million and 96. I imagine that was like a 5, 6, 7, 8 year contract. Like that's
yeah, for sure.
So like we got him for a long time. Let's not boo him a month into this contract.
Yeah.
But San Francisco's cutthroat.
Yeah. But this is when Juan Primo, Benicio del Toro's character, starts balling out.
Oh, he's just tearing the cover off the ball.
So it's making the whole scenario for fucking Robert De Niro being a crazy fan of Wesley Snipes' character is just making it way worse.
Yeah.
Because now Juan Primo in Bobby Ray's fucking number is balling out.
Yeah. Wearing number 11.
And Gil can't fucking have it. He's like, there's no way. I'm not having this.
So Gil then like calls the Giants clubhouse.
Yeah.
And just says, "Hey, can I talk to Bobby Rayburn?" And they're like, "Who's calling?" And he goes, "It's
It's just a friend.
it's his friend. It's really important that I talk to him." And the guy just goes, "All right, let me get him." And he goes, "Bobby, phone's for you, man."
Yeah.
And he comes over and he says, "Hello?" He goes, "Hello?" He's like, "Yeah, it's Bobby." He goes, "Is this Bobby Rayburn?" He's like, "Yeah." And then Robert De Niro doesn't say anything.
Yeah, that was a weird scene.
He just freezes up. And Bobby Rayburn goes, "Hello, who is this? Why are you calling me? Hello, you said you need to talk to me." And he I Want to Fuck You Like an Animal starts playing.
Yeah.
And he just quietly hangs up the phone without putting it down and then slowly puts the phone down. And that was the end of that scene.
Which also adds to him being a fucking crazy fan.
It's crazy. The second he heard his voice, the song starts playing. Like, it's such a creep, guys. It's Closer by 9 Inch Nails. Look it up. If you haven't seen the movie, look it up, and you're gonna hear the song I'm talking about at least, and that'll put it into some perspective for you. So Bobby then, his son flies in, and he's picking him up at the airport, and he's got a puppy inside his shirt, and he gives it to his son. Bobby's got a cool Jeep that it's a future scene. Never mind. We'll get to it.
Okay, yeah.
He's got a badass Jeep, and his son's in it. As soon as his son gets in, he goes, "So, Dad, how come you're not hitting?"
Yeah, and then immediately just goes to fucking Wesley Snipes' face. I mean, that was a great line because there was so much talk, kind of like right before this as well, about Bobby Ray's fucking batting average and everything. So it just added perfectly to that.
Yeah, it was great. And then Manny, his manager, is telling him, "Hey, you should take an interview with Jewel and say you had to play hurt. Like, you're playing bad because you've been playing hurt. You didn't come out opening day because you had to hit that home run for the kid with cancer." And he's like, "You want me to exploit?" Oh, so right after the game, right after opening day, right after the game, Bobby Rayburn asks Manny, he says, "Did the kid see the home run at least?" And he goes, "Nah, he slipped into a coma in the first inning and died." just like that. He's like, why the fuck didn't you tell me? He's like, oh yeah, because you handle bad news so well, Bobby. Yeah, like
I'm just gonna come over in the middle of the game. And tell you this
like,
fucking
hey, the kid's
died.
dead. Don't worry.
Yeah. Which is wild.
So wild. So he's telling him to take the interview with Jewel, and he does. They meet at like a bar, and it's a very short scene, but they meet at a bar and they talk.
Is this when? Is it the same scene when he like stopped her from recording? Like he reached.
Yeah.
Okay. He reached into her pocket and like grabbed the fucking hidden recorder that he just somehow knew she had in that fucking pocket, which is great.
Bobby Rayburn knows a hidden recorder when he sees one.
Yeah. So he stopped that, and then they had a short scene really quick, and I mean, God, no wonder she won the fucking award. Compelling. I mean, her whole character, just the way she. Oh wow, Jewel. I don't know what else you're in, but I'm going to start looking you up. I'm going to IMDb her. So
De Niro's still going to all the games, and De Niro has started to boo Juan Primo at the games. Everyone loves Juan Primo.
Fucking killing it.
They're hating Bobby Rayburn because he's the overpaid superstar who's not doing it. Juan Primo's the young up-and-comer who's just tearing it up.
And the fans not having it.
It's like, if you're a baseball fan, it's like had the Angels the first year they had Albert Pujols, had the fans started booing him and just cheering for Mike Trout because he was this young up-and-comer superstar, and they had the overpaid old star underperforming. But like, Angels fans didn't boo Albert Pujols. They showed the man some fucking respect.
I gotta say too, Juan Primo, Benicio del Toro, he had some good flow in this movie.
He did. He felt like a ball player. Yeah. So they show the players are leaving. They're going out to the players' parking lot. And it's like any stadium. Like, there's a fence. People can get autographs, try to get the players. Everyone's talking shit to Bobby. Everyone's cheering Primo and wanting his autograph. Bobby Rayburn walks through. Players are booing him, saying, fuck you, Rayburn. De Niro's Gil's going, don't listen to him, Bobby. You're still my boy.
And he gets in the Jeep and drives off. But I was just thinking, like, it wouldn't be like that. People would be fucking loving this dude, no matter even if he's doing not that well. I mean, he's brand new still to the team, and he's one of the best baseball players there is.
It's the first month of a season. Baseball has 162 games.
Yeah.
They've played like 24 games at that point. Like, they're not.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, there's no way it's going to be that
They're not outrageously booing him. No, but it wouldn't have been as compelling of a movie if it was just like, oh, sense. Hey, Bobby. Tough game today, Bobby. You'll get back at it. Like, if they were all like that, that'd be.
You're right. I mean, you definitely did need that scene to build what's going to happen next. So 100%.
So Gil sees Bobby leave in the Jeep and like looks at it closely.
Bobby.
And then he's in a dark room and he builds a toy Jeep that looks exactly like Bobby Rayburn's. He's like hanging it. He has a bunch of hats and pictures and stuff, and he's hanging it in this dark room.
Well, that's actually a great thing that they did, that scene, because it builds his character as being stuck in like a childhood trauma. Like, he's like almost like can't discern between being an adult and being stuck in that childhood trauma, you know? And we definitely needed that scene to kind of even establish that a little bit more, I feel like. Yeah, it was a weird fucking scene.
And then the next scene, Bobby has this beautiful house right on the beach, and he's out on the beach playing catch with his son, and Gil is like in the woods just off the beach watching him with his binoculars.
Yeah, and this is like a fucking private beach too, which we'll get to next, but
he's just watching him, and
which is super weird. And I got something I want to say about it, but I'll touch on it in a little bit.
So next scene, Gil is hanging out at this bar, and Primo is sitting over in a booth with some of his boys, and Bobby walks in, and Bobby walks by the bar, and so Gil's sitting at the bar. Bobby walks by the bar and just says to the bartender, hey, my usual, and then goes over to a booth. I assume he sits in a lot. Gil tries to say hi to Bobby as he walks by. Bobby doesn't really pay attention, just keeps walking, goes to his booth. Gil is getting him from the bar. He's like, I want to go talk to Bobby. The bartender's like, come on, man. These guys, they come here to get away from the game. People start bothering them. They're going to start coming here. And Gil goes, no, it's okay. I've talked to him on the phone.
Which is so funny because the only time they talked was obviously the radio show host, and fucking Bobby has no idea who Gil is.
Well, he called the clubhouse, and Bobby answered, and he just didn't say anything.
Yeah.
That's what I've talked to him on the phone.
So at this point in the scene too, after they, talk and everything and the whole interaction, I was just surprised, like the whole movie, that there wasn't a part where Bobby like remembered or realized who Gil was because of his voice. Like I feel like Gil had, Robert De Niro has a pretty. I feel like you could remember his voice even over a phone call or something. Especially if you're like, thanks, Gil. I appreciate. I don't know. Maybe it was a one-time incident. And
you're a professional athlete who, twice you've heard a guy on a radio show.
But I mean, like even later in some of the other scenes, I feel like at some point it would maybe like click.
I don't. I think if I heard someone's voice on a phone call with other people twice, dude, I see people.
This is Robert
that
De
I've
Niro.
Seen. Yeah, but not in the movies. Gil Renard.
Bobby.
Don't listen to him, Bobby.
Bobby.
So they're at the bar. He goes over to say something to Bobby. Primo's guys walk over the pool table. Bobby gets up and walks over towards them. Gil's walking over. He goes, "Hey, Bobby." And Bobby sticks his hand up, doesn't look at him, and does a talk to the hand to Gil, and then keeps walking away, which Gil's not happy with. He doesn't react to it, but he is very unhappy with.
Yeah.
Gil goes into the bathroom in the stall, and it looks like he's going to cry. Like he's worked up in the stall, just having a moment. He's like, just don't let him get to you, Gil. It's going to be okay. And then Bobby goes up to the pool table. He's like, "Hey, Primo, can I talk to you for a minute?" Primo's like, "Let me finish the game." And then I guess Primo goes to the bathroom. Bobby follows him in there. And he's like, "Man, what do I got to do? Give me the number. What do I got to do?" They're in the bathroom. He's like, "I want number 11. And Gil's just watching this from the bathroom stall, which is great.
Yeah.
He's like, "I want my number." And then Primo's like, "You can't fucking have it. You missed that opportunity." And then they start fighting. Players come in and break it up. End of that scene.
And it's kind of like foreshadowing like what Gil thinks his resolution is, almost, as the fan.
Well, so the next scene is Bobby on that radio show with Jewel, and he's kind of just openly talking about how Primo won't give him number 11, which to think, like, if you're on a team and you're just going on a radio station being like, "Man, this guy won't give me my number. It's bullshit." Like, that's why I'm not playing well, because I don't have that number. Yeah, but you guys still
play together. No,
like, you show up in the clubhouse and Primo's like, "Hey, Bobby."
Well, your coach is going to be like, "Hey, listen, don't go on the fucking show.
Don't go on the radio and talk about numbers. That's fucking absurd."
Yeah.
What are you doing?
The dude who owns the fucking baseball team is going to go talk to Bobby and be like, "Hey, listen, man, we don't need this around the team."
Yeah, hey, we're paying you $40 million. Don't talk about...
Give you any other number.
Don't talk about clubhouse disputes on the radio, dude. That's crazy. But so he's talking about that, and Gil calls in, and Gil's backing Bobby 100%. He's like, he's the superstar. If Primo won't give it up, the team should be like, "Hey, Primo, you want $1 million? Here's $1 million. Give Bobby his jersey back." They should do whatever you want them to do, Bobby. And then Bobby says, "I appreciate that, Gil. Maybe I should have you talk to Primo. Maybe you can talk some sense into him." And Gil records that part of the...
Well, she's... what's her name? Jewel said something too.
She says, like, "And who says the fans don't know what they're talking about?" She says that.
Yeah. And he's just like replaying it over and over.
So he records it on like a cassette recorder.
Yeah.
And he's just playing it over and over again. The part where Bobby says, "Maybe I should have you talk to Primo. Maybe you should talk some sense into him." So the next scene, Primo's like going into a sauna, like the hotel he's staying at or something. Gil follows him into the sauna, and he says, "Primo, do you ever think that one player doing really well maybe doesn't benefit the whole team?" Just trying to come at him from that sense.
Yeah.
And Primo's like, "The fuck you talking about?" He's like, "I'm talking about number 11. Bobby needs it more than you do. All right, Bobby needs number 11. It was his number before, And Primo like goes, I'm number 11, and shows him a tattoo on his right shoulder. That's the number 11. It's like a patch. And Gil's like, ah. And then Primo's like, are you with the media? Gil's like, no. He's like, do you work with the hotel?
Well, and let me throw in, because Robert De Niro's character Gil is wearing a fucking suit.
Yeah,
so
he's wearing a suit, and he has a manila folder with him.
Yeah, in a fucking sauna. Like, this is it's a very awkward place to be interviewed or anything. And like, from Primo's side, it's like, I would have been very suspicious, honestly. Like, he was very calm. I felt like I would have even been more suspicious. Like, why is this dude in a suit in my face
talking to me about the number?
Yeah. I would have instantly been like, almost like very, I don't know, protective.
I would have left.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, I'm not,
and especially instead of, well, what ends up happening is they end up getting into a fucking fight. Primo punches him, Gil, and I was surprised by that. Like, I get it. Like, he's asking like a bunch of fucking questions and like being overly invasive and everything. But like, I would have left.
Yeah. Primo was a hothead here.
Oh yeah.
He got what was coming to him. So they're fighting, and amidst the struggle,
who fights in a sauna?
Gil Renard and Juan Primo do.
Obviously, that sauna was not hot enough, because let me tell you, boy, you ain't fucking fighting in a sauna.
So they're fighting, and amidst the struggle, Gil pulls out the knife that he had in his manila folder and stabs Primo in the thigh, which leads
artery.
Which leads me, well, yeah, he stabbed him in the femoral artery, and Primo just sits down and bleeds out. And then Gil gets the fuck out of there, just like kind of walks, acting casually, walking through the hotel.
They
and leaves.
really soaked in on Primo dying too. I mean, they made the whole screen red, and like they really soaked up Primo's death, which I think they were trying to add to the whole psychological thriller kind of part with doing that, you know. But
did you notice what else was going on while Primo died?
Some song.
Closer.
Yeah.
By 9 Inch Nails was playing.
But that fucking knife was huge, dude. That was like a fucking 8-inch knife.
Had it in the manila folder. He was holding it tight.
Yeah. So he was prepared to do this. And maybe I missed it, or maybe they didn't show it, or maybe I missed it, but did he cut off the tattoo in the scene?
No, so they don't show us that.
Okay.
Yeah,
sorry, a little spoiler, but
spoiler alert.
Fuck,
that comes up. So Primo just gets killed in the sauna, and then they show Bobby Rayburn walking into the clubhouse, and none of his teammates, like his teammates, they think he fucking did it.
Yeah,
like they just kind of look at him
or some shit. Yeah.
And his Bobby gets to his locker, and his jersey has a number 11 patch on the sleeve.
And then his teammate John, well, I guess his name in the movie is Lance, the big dude. He's like, now we're all wearing number 11. Like, real guilt trip type of fucking comment.
Because that's what
well, that was his character, or that was Primo's number.
Yeah, and that's what teams in the MLB do. Like when Jose Fernandez died, all the Marlins wore 16.
Totally makes sense.
When that guy with the Angels, they all wore a patch for his number.
But to like that
is
so fucked
to
up.
say now we're all wearing it. You happy now?
Yeah. What a fucked up thing to say. When you have no evidence, nor you know.
But it's not only his teammate. The crowd's booing him. There's signs that say Raybird killed Primo. Like, it's absurd.
Remind me at the end about Lands. I want to comment something between the two. I just think that it's funny that they had him say that, and then what ends up with his character. But
okay,
we'll bring it up later.
So Primo's dead. They do a whole memorial thing there.
Yep.
Gil is at the game, and he seems a little annoyed about the memorial. He's kind of like, just whatever. All right, let's get through this. Bobby gets a hit, and he's like, attaboy, Bobby.
He literally said, let's start playing baseball before it's even done.
Let's play some fucking ball. He says, whenever there's any lapse in the game, it's, come on, let's play some fucking ball.
But this is during the
during the thing, yeah.
commencement or whatever of Primo. So this dude that he just fucking murdered, he's getting annoyed about the time that they're spending on Primo's death. And he's in the crowd being like, hurry the fuck up, basically. Which is insane.
So that happens, and Bobby starts tearing it up after this. He's got the 11 patch back on his sleeve, and he's a brand new ball player. He's tearing up. He's hitting 400 and just tearing up 400, leading the league in home runs and RBIs since Primo's death.
And now Gil is just having a ball.
And
He's loving being the fan.
So he's loving it, but then there's an interview.
Oh, yeah.
And they ask Bobby, how do you think you got out of this slump? Blah, blah, blah. He's like, I don't really know. Blah, blah, blah. And Gil's like, you don't know? And he's like playing with a knife, too, while he's doing it. He's like, you don't know? A simple thank you would have been nice, Bobby. He's talking to the TV.
Like as if Bobby Ray is going to go out into public and say publicly, oh, yeah, thanks to whoever fucking murdered Primo.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. Now we're going to win the MLB. We're going to win the fucking World Series. Let's go.
So we're back on the beach. Guys, like, it just starts picking up so much. Like, the wheels are off at this point.
Tony Scott. Right?
9 Inch Nails, I Want to Fuck
cut.
You Like an Animal was playing, by the way.
Yeah.
But so we're back at the beach. Gil's watching Bobby and his family. There's like a nanny who's watching the kids on a boogie board. Sean is on a boogie board. It's rough.
It's rough, but I feel like they could have made that scenario. Okay, so he ends up starting to drown.
The dog swims out and knocks the kid off the boogie board.
Yeah, but usually boogie boards have like a strap
leashes or something. The kid didn't use it. Yeah, well, fucking idiot, huh? What's he doing?
Okay, but another thing is like, what, the nanny can't fucking swim? Jesus Christ, she's sitting there on the. Okay, so
probably not. I assume if she could swim, she would have gone in there. But so he falls off. He's drowning. Gil jumps to action.
Yeah.
Gil he
sitting
slides
in the forest
he
again with
slides down. It's like a
binoculars.
big hill. He slides down. It runs in, dives in the water.
Takes off his shoes while running. I'm like, oh, this is totally a fill-in. There's no way Robert De Niro's doing this.
Dude, it's incredible when they're in the water. So he's in the water. Wesley Snipes jumps off the balcony and runs on the beach and dives in the water.
Mm-hmm.
They do close-ups on both of their faces during the rescue of the son. I don't know, they could have just done a faraway shot. It's clearly not Wesley Snipes or Robert De Niro. So clear. The one on Wesley Snipes is so bad. It looks nothing like him. Why they weren't like, hey, let's just not have shots of their faces.
Yeah.
Just show their backs and show them get the kid. They're like, nah, we need the close-up on the face of the stunt double.
It's like they really needed a fucking stunt double for it's not like they were a quarter mile out at sea. I mean, we're talking like a couple hundred fucking feet at most. I was just surprised. Can Wesley Snipes and Robert De Niro not swim?
That is racist.
No,
Brandon.
I said Robert De Niro.
You said Wesley Snipes, then you saw my face, and then you were like, Robert De Niro. Brad, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening, I am sorry. I'm sorry. This bigotry is not what we.
I'm a bigot against actors.
It is not what we're a part.
If the actor can't swim, he's got to learn how to swim for the role. End of discussion.
I think Wesley Snipes.
That's the only reason why Wesley Snipes nor Robert De Niro won an award for this film. That's the reason. They didn't put in the effort. They didn't learn how to swim. They had a stunt double. They took the easy way out. I'm just kidding. You guys did great.
I'm sorry for Braden's bigotry. The 5-6 Kings as a whole do not stand for it.
How about Subway?
So don't you bring Subway into this. All right? You fucking disgust me. So De Niro saves the kid, and Wesley Snipes like, where the hell did you come from? And he's like, I was just walking on the beach.
Just on this private beach that you own.
It doesn't look like a beach that just people are walking on.
He's
like, I was just walking on the beach.
Yeah. This is for sure in a very nice neighborhood, and there's no way that this is a public beach. And
and Rayburn's just like, all right, well, thank God. So he's not thinking. He's like, my son almost died, and this guy saved him.
I get it.
He's like, thank God you were here.
No, yeah.
Whatever you were doing, thank God my son's alive.
Yeah.
And he asks him his name, and Gil says, my friends call me Curly.
It's a weird nickname to come out of nowhere.
So Bobby's like, all right, Curly, well, why don't you come inside? We'll get you some dry clothes. And he's in.
I thought there.
He is in.
I thought right there, though, that he was just going to be like, I'm Gil, man. You can't remember me? I didn't actually think he was going to put on like a whole fake persona or something and give a fake name. I thought the movie was gonna go a little bit different. I guess right there.
So
obviously, I was wrong.
So he gives the fake name, and while he's getting on dry clothes, he puts on Bobby's Braves jersey, number 11, Atlanta Braves, Bobby Rayburn, and I Want to Fuck You Like an Animal starts playing.
They kind of quick cut different shots of him like looking at himself in the mirror, which I just thought was funny.
And he puts on some like I don't know, some colorful like 1980s hip hop pants,
Rugrat pants. Yeah, those things are fresh.
Yeah, and like a baseball jacket with no logo or anything on it.
Well, I think he didn't. Bobby wear the sweater that Gil ended up wearing over the jersey, that red one. Like, wasn't that one of Bobby's like?
It was all Bobby's clothes.
No, I know it was all Bobby's clothes, but like. Usually you would give someone like clothes that were, you don't really care as much about. Like, wasn't that one of his Gil, sports sweaters or something?
I have no idea. But Gil had just full access to Bobby's wardrobe.
Let him into his closet, put him into his fucking closet. Like,
wasn't like, here, get a shower, I'll grab you some clothes. Like, and I was like, hey,
go into all my personal
whatever.
stuff.
Just take what you want.
Yeah.
Take what you want, Curly. So Curly comes out and pretends like he doesn't know who Bobby is.
And I thought, Gil did, or Robert De Niro did a good job at making his Curly making it seem like he wasn't that good of a liar. Like he wasn't that good of a liar, and I felt like that was intentionally done too, like from Robert's, perspective of like, oh, I can't make my character that great at lying, especially it's something that he fucking loves.
Yeah.
So I actually appreciated that it wasn't really well done for the lie.
No, it was very unbelievable.
Yeah.
Because he says,
you look like, who'd he say?
He said Barry Bonds?
Barry Bonds.
He's like, I play baseball. He goes, oh, Barry Bonds? He's like, no, I'm...
The fuck?
It's like, I'm Bobby Rayburn. He's like, oh, cool, I've heard of you. He's like, yeah. He's like, what? He's like, and Bobby Rayburn goes, yeah, I'm glad you're not one of like these huge baseball fans.
Yeah.
And Gil kind of flips. He goes, why's that?
Yeah.
Like angry. He's like, yeah, why's that? He goes, because those guys are fucking losers.
Yeah.
And he's like,
oh shit.
And he says, aren't they what makes the game? He's like, no, they're not what makes the game. It's the players.
Yeah.
He's like, aren't the fans who make you? And he's like, no, they aren't.
Yeah, and then he gives like a comparison or Bobby Ray gives a comparison about how like one moment the fans are gonna love you when you're doing good, and how they're just gonna spit you out when you're doing bad, and they don't really give a shit about you.
Yeah. But not Gil.
Yeah,
Gil stuck around Bobby the whole time.
He's like, no, I'm
That's
a
why
real
he's
fucking
the
fan. Yeah, he's the fan.
But so then Gil's like,
no, he says some crazy fucking shit. Like he gives like his description of what it means to be a fan, or is that later on? He gives the description of like what it means to be like a fan almost. I think he says something right there.
He says, fuck. Yeah, he says, I was in the bigs for cup of coffee myself until my arm went out. It's like my old catcher Coop used to always say, you gotta enjoy it while you can, and then after that you gotta move on. And Bobby's like, those are wise words to live by. Because Bobby says before that, the fans are going to hate you when you're not playing well. They're going to love you when you're playing well, so you just got to play for yourself. And he doesn't like that. He really doesn't like that Bobby says that. And then he goes to Bobby, did you mean it when you said you'd do something for me? And Bobby's like, yeah, I mean, within reason. He's like, let me pitch to you. And he's like...
And now all these references about, like, his best pitch really start coming in.
So he's like, let me pitch to you. He's like, all right. So to go out on the beach, and he says whatever the dog's name is. So the dog's going to be our catcher. And so Gil throws his first pitch. Bobby just crushes it. And he says, feels good to be hitting again, doesn't it? He goes, you have no idea. He's like, how do you think you broke that slump? He says, honestly, I just stopped caring. And Gil goes, stopped caring? He's like, what?
Well, I was going to say, too, I mean, I feel like that is a huge hint to Bobby Ray that, like, dude, this dude already told you he doesn't watch baseball. He has no idea. And now he knows about
Yeah,
like
Bob's-
like your slump and all these questions, more specifics and everything about your career and like.
And he does not. He's not like, what do you
Doesn't-
mean hitting
doesn't-
again?
Yeah, it doesn't register that at all, which I found weird. I would have been like, oh, dude, I thought you said you weren't a fan or something.
Yeah.
Like, which would have been a nice little line, but.
So stopped caring, and then Gil throws one at Bobby. Bobby has to like duck out of the way and just kind of looks at him.
Goes
He's like,
for, like, the
easy.
head.
Yeah. Easy. And then Gil is like, just that attitude. I just, I can't agree with Bobby, like, that's bullshit. Like, you stopped caring.
Which is so weird to fucking throw a ball at someone's head and then say that. Like, and you would think, like, with Bobby, like, on his property, this dude just came out of nowhere. This is a pretty big property in a private neighborhood, and this is all. I would be more suspicious at this point, but I get it. I mean,
So
he's
he's-
saved his son.
He's starting to be real uncomfortable with the way
No,
he's
he's-
talking.
no, he's being
like,
uncomfortable.
oh, what's.
But
and-
I felt like I would have been at least a little bit more suspicious. But
You're a very suspicious person, though.
yeah.
You are. You're always folks are always out to get you, Braden.
Bobby's like, no, that's fine. That's not suspicious at all.
And so next for Gil, like, he wants to throw another pitch, and he takes off the jacket that he's wearing to reveal that he's wearing Bobby's Braves jersey. with the
And that's
number
where I'm
11.
starting to lose my fucking mind with Bobby. I'm like, dude.
So
Like,
that's
there's no beating around the bush at this point. I'm like, bro, get my fucking jersey off and get the fuck out of
So
here.
that's when Bobby's just like, all right, it's getting late. I'm gonna go outside. And he goes up. And goes like, I didn't throw you my best pitch yet. He's like, nah, it's fine. We'll do it some other time.
Yeah.
And then they're shaking hands, and Gil goes, hey, it's just us out here. You could admit it. He's like, admit what? He's like, admit it. You're kind of glad Primo's dead. He's like, I am not glad that Primo's dead. And will you let go of my hand, please? And then he lets go of the hand, and Bobby grabs the bag of baseballs and starts to jog inside with the dog. Gil's like, hey, what about the glove? He says, keep it.
Man, I fucking. If I'm Bobby Ray, dude, I'm like, man, I need to find out who this dude is, bro. Like, I'm gonna make sure that like I find out who you are. So, but like not in a weird way to Gil, more so like, oh, I'm making it seem like I'm gonna do the right thing by paying you back some way. So I need to know who you are, kind of thing.
Well, he did. Gil already got his wish. Got the pitch to him.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, I don't know.
He didn't get to throw him his best pitch yet, though.
I don't know. I'd just be fucking suspicious. Like, how this dude even get on my property?
And so Bobby is then brushing his teeth. Not just teeth.
What made you think for him to ask that to Bobby? Do you really think that he fuck.
Like, are you glad that Primo's dead?
Yeah.
So he wanted Bobby to be like, you know what? I am. And then Gil will be like, well, I killed him for you. Now you got number 11 back. You're welcome. That's how, in his mind, that's how that conversation was going to go. Bobby was going to be like, you know what? I am glad that he's dead.
Thank you.
And then Gil would be like, you're welcome. He'd be like, you did that for me?
You know
He'd be
what?
like, I would do anything for you, Bobby.
Yeah. The one thing he wanted is, you know what? You're the number one fan.
Yeah.
He wanted some.
You're a true fan.
Yeah.
Thank you. That is all Gil wanted in life.
Oh man.
He wanted to be told he's the true fan and to be thanked. So Bobby's brushing his teeth, and I don't know if he hears something or what. He just like has a weird look in the mirror, and then goes through the house, and his kid's gone, and the dog's gone, and his Jeep is gone.
Which I didn't like that scene too much because I'm like, dude, how in this, like, how big is this house?
How
The
did
house-
all of that happen without? Yeah.
And like the house doesn't look that big, even though it's a nice house and everything, but it doesn't look so big to where some random dude could be walking through, pick up your fucking child
Yeah, and dog.
and dog
And
and
Jeep.
your Jeep, and this is a big fucking Jeep, bro. You start this fucking Jeep up,
Oh, I'm sure it's loud.
Bro,
Opening the
that
garage,
engine
like
is gonna be-
so much would have had to happen.
yeah. And he's just playing fucking jazz and pool in the background and can't hear his Hummer fucking driving off with his kid and his dog.
I mean, apparently. So Gil is driving with the dog and the kid, and he's playing Rolling Stones, and he's saying the same thing he said to his kid. He's like, I remember when Mick released this song back in 1967. We had a big party that night or whatever. And the kid's like, who's Mick? He goes, Mick Jagger, Rolling Stones. The kid's like, I don't know.
At this point, he's starting to get really fucking weird. He's like laughing and making like weird faces.
The kid doesn't notice anything weird at this point. And the kid's just like, so what are we going fishing? He's like, yeah, night fishing. It's the best fishing. There's no boats out there. We trick the fish to the boat with a flashlight. No one's out there. He's like, why couldn't my dad go night fishing?
No.
He's right about night fishing.
No. The kid.
He knows what he's saying.
No. I'm saying the kid's attitude. So obviously, I think they're trying to show as well as to how Gil was able to leave with the kid, the Hummer, and everything, because he probably just like persuaded, hey, we're gonna go fishing or something like that.
Yeah.
But still, yeah.
I talked to your dad. We're gonna go fishing. He's resting up. He's got a big game tomorrow.
Yeah.
And the kid's like, all right, cool. Let's go catch some fish.
Yeah.
And then so Bobby calls the car phone, and he answers and goes, hey, Bobby! He's like, you're on speakerphone. He's like, say hi to your dad, Sean. And Sean goes, hey, Dad, we're going fishing. He's like, oh, that's great, Sean. That's great. Hey, Curly, mind picking up the headset for me? And he picks it up. He's like, what's up, Bobby? He's like, what are you doing? You want to maybe just come back with my kid and in my car? He's like, no, we're going fishing. What do you mean? And kind of is just like, oh, I'm going to take him. We're going to do this. He doesn't say anything too threatening.
Yeah.
But it's kind of underlying like, no, I have your kid. And that's just the end. He's with me now. Maybe we'll talk later. And then he hangs up on Bobby.
Yeah, and I understand that Bobby's trying to like play it cool, I guess. Like to a degree.
Oh my god. Hold on. He doesn't play it as cool as I thought he did in this phone call.
Why?
Because Bobby, as Gil's doing that voice, Bobby's like, all right, man, like, come on, what the fuck are you doing? Like, he kind of gets angry. He's like, what did I do to you? And he says, it's not what you did to me. It's what I did for you. Then goes, check your freezer.
Ah, yep.
And he goes and opens the freezer. Primo's tattoo. Gil cut it off Primo's arm and threw it in the freezer. It's a number 11 tattoo. And Bobby sees it. And he's like, a simple thank you would have been nice. And he hangs up.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Fuck.
So then, the moment, like, the whole movie, I was waiting for this scene. We finally meet Coop.
Yeah.
He shows up. Coop is like working security at some, like a scrapyard or something. I don't know where the fuck he is. But Coop is there and they knock on the door. He's like, Coop, it's Gil Renard. And he goes, Gil Renard? And like looks confused. He's like, oh, wow. And then like he looks at the car. He's like, yeah, you must be doing well for yourself, Gil. Then Gil comes in. He's like, this is my son. He says, Bobby's kid's his son. And then he gets in there. The kid's playing with the dog outside. He's like, whose kid is that really? He's like, it's Bobby Rayburn's. He's like, the fuck are you doing? Like,
yeah.
He says, same old Gil. And they kind of just talk. They then go, Gil and Sean take some pictures with knives. And Sean looks like he's just having fun. Like he sticks the knife in his mouth with Gil and they're taking pictures together.
Like he doesn't still know what's going on fully.
I think he thinks it's just, oh, this is cool. This is the guy that saved my life. He's cool with my dad. They went out and played catch. And now he's giving me a knife and we're taking like cool, fun pictures on the hood of my dad's car.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You know, I'm really wondering what Gil Renard's character was, or not Gil,
Coop?
his friend, yeah, Coop.
Coop?
What Coop was fucking thinking this whole time, because he's taking the photos and he's like, I'm trying to fucking, I don't know.
Coop's taking the photos and then
keep this whole thing from fucking going overboard or something.
Yeah. So they get all the pictures and Gil calls Bobby's house. And Bobby answers and he's like, oh, Sean's asleep. Sean's playing with the dog over in the distance. Like, Sean's asleep. Can't talk to him right now.
And now, Bobby's got like
the police are there. They're
Yeah.
trying to track the call.
Yeah.
All of that. That's what's going on. And he says, Bobby, I want you to hit a home run for me tomorrow. And I'm gonna send you a picture and you're gonna have it put up on the Jumbotron and you're gonna say that home run was for Gil Renard a true fan. And he says, and if you don't hit a home run, or if I notice that the pitcher's taking it easy on you, I'm going to kill your fucking son. How about that?
Yeah.
Then you're like, oh, shit, here we go.
Jesus, yeah.
And Coop kind of like makes a face like, oh, shit. And then when he hangs up, he's like, Gil, we're fucked. You're threatening to kill a public figure's son. Like, they're going to be all over this. They're going to find you.
Yeah.
And he's like, take it easy, Coop. We're going to be fine.
Well, I think it's funny how they're, obviously Coop is trying to, keep Gil somewhat relaxed, I guess. But I just thought it was kind of funny the way that they were kind of talking about it as if they were, like, if not as friends, but more so like as if they've known each other for a long time.
Yeah, well, they have.
Well, they have, but yeah. Okay, so we'll get to it in a second.
We're about to be there. What are you doing, Brent?
Okay.
So, Bobby has Coop playing catcher. Or not Bobby, Gil. Gil's like, all right, Coop, just like old times, let's go.
Yep.
So be the catcher. He's like, he has Sean, Bobby Rayburn's kid. He's at the plate. He's got the bat.
This is the best part. I love this part right here.
And Gil just keeps saying, all right, just take it easy, kid. Just standing there, get your bat up, kid. Like, he's talking to him. And Bobby throws the first pitch, Gil, and it's hard as fuck. And the kid's like, oh.
Was it the first pitch or was it the second pitch when the catcher?
So he does the sign before the first pitch. And he shakes off the first one.
Yeah.
And then he does another one. He nods.
Yeah,
that's my pitch.
As if the fucking fastball needed to be a fucking curveball instead against this like 10-year-old fucking kid.
Yeah, it's great.
Hilarious.
So he throws the first pitch. And the kid like freaks out, and the kid starts crying. He realizes like, oh, this isn't cool. What's going on here?
This isn't about me at all.
Yeah.
This is
Coop throws the ball back, and then De Niro gets the sign again, shakes him off. He's yelling. He's like, "Get in there, get your bat up." And Coop's like, "Get your fucking bat up, kid. Come on, get in there, get your bat up. Don't worry, kid, get your bat up." Throws it and throws the other pitch, and then Coop throws the ball back, but it sails over Gil's head. And when Gil turns to run and get it, Coop goes, "All right, kid, let's go. Let's run. And he's running with the kid.
This whole part is kind of funny.
Yeah, Gil's like, Coop, what are you doing? Just casually.
That, and then the fact that Coop chose to try and like get this kid over this 15-foot fucking tall fence rather than like, I don't know, run him through the front door like where they came through.
Well, he got him because then.
Well, another thing is like
Gil's gotta then go over the fence to get the kid.
Another thing for the editing department, I thought they held the shot a little too long on Coop making sure the kid got over the fence and not looking behind him, because there's like the kid gets over the fence and there's like a legitimate like 3-second pause of Coop like not turning around, and then turns around and just gets fucking socked by a baseball bat from Gil
in the head, and then he hits him a couple more times.
Yeah,
and Gil shatters everybody's world, and Coop shatters everyone because Gil goes, Coop, this could have been like old times, and Coop goes, what are you talking about, man? We were 12 years old. It was Little League.
Yeah, and that shit hit hard because then I was like, oh,
because he had all these life lessons.
Yeah,
that Coop had given him.
Like it really makes the impact that okay, Gil's character is literally stuck in this childhood trauma. Like there is no way he can escape it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So the kid's over the fence. We then see the kids like run in, and Gil pulls up next to him in the car and just casually gets out. And we don't see the kid get back in the car, but Gil gets the kid back in the car. So we're at the stadium, and Jewel is doing a live radio broadcast from the stadium, and Gil calls in.
Yeah.
So that seems like it's going to be a great night.
And what's funny is they were expecting that. They were hoping for it.
Yeah. And she's like,
no, he's going to call.
Let's go. Because she hears the Giants watch. She's like, is this our friend Gil?
And I don't really know, when people call in, are they able to like just cipher through numbers? Like I'm sure there's thousands of fucking people calling in. Like I'm sure it's not just Gil. Like were they able to be like, oh, that's Gil's fucking number. Let's answer this call.
Oh, I have no idea.
You know what I'm saying though?
Yeah.
Like I just thought it was kind of weird that they were able to like know Gil's calling and just expected it to like.
So she didn't. So she heard the Giants watch on the phone and said, "Is that a Giants watch?"
Yeah.
And he says, "Uh huh." She says, "It's our friend Gil." He said, "Indeed it is, Jewel." He said, "This is gonna be a great game. It's gonna be one of the greatest games of all time. It's gonna be huge." And she's like, "Why is that?" And he says, "Because some people are ungrateful, and they need to be taught a lesson."
Which is insane.
And then she's like, they're trying to find him. She's like, are you in the stadium? And he's like, you're never going to find me, Jewel. And he hangs up. And it's pouring rain during the game. Bobby he hits one like, does he have a home run robbed?
Yeah, he gets a home run. Yeah,
so he hits
robbed.
one almost over the right field wall, and the right fielder catches it.
And then it starts to start pouring down rain, or it's at least starting to rain. I think the rain gets worse as the game progresses, which I kind of like. But yeah, he almost hits it over, and then there's the suspense obviously building because, every time he goes up to bat, he's either getting struck out or he's getting almost robbed. And then one of the last times he was going up to bat, they were trying to walk him as the game was getting kind of poured out.
It's pouring rain, and they're going to intentionally walk him.
And he's like, you don't know what you're doing to me.
What the fuck you doing? And the catcher goes, look at it as a sign of respect, dickhead.
Yeah.
He's like, no, fuck that. You don't know what you're doing to me. And then after ball 2, the ump calls the game. He's like, rain delay. They bring the tarp out. They cover the field. They then show the umpires walking through the tunnel. They show Gil.
Which I didn't remember at the time, but that's obviously a reason that they showed that.
Yeah. Then we don't see what happens there.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're like, oh, the game's starting back up. And so they're out there. The game's starting. It's still pouring rain.
But it goes right back to him up at bat.
Up with a 2-0 count. And he walks out to the pitcher's mound.
I think it was 2-2.
It was 2-0 at this time because they were trying to intentionally walk him.
But
it gets to 2-2.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
But at this point,
right.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He walks out and says to the pitcher, he's like, don't listen to your fucking catcher. You either pitch to me. If you walk me, I'm coming out here and I'm bashing your fucking head open with this bat.
Yeah.
Just crazy over the top. Pitcher's like, Jesus, all right.
Fuck.
Pitch to you. Fuck. So he pitches to him, gets 2 strikes on him, and then the next pitch, Bobby smokes to the outfield, and he's running around first, around second. The coach puts the stop sign up at third. He blows through it, slides in at the plate. He beats the throw, but the ump calls him out. And Bobby goes, out? What are you talking about? Out? I beat it by a fucking mile. He's like, you're out. Sit down. Sit down. You're out. And then Bobby's looking. He's like, oh, shit, this is the fucking guy. Gil was the umpire. I don't know how. So
that didn't make any sense to me either.
Did he kill the other umpire? And also, did the coaches, the umpire, the other umpires weren't like, hey, you're not the guy who's been calling. Yeah,
because you're the main. That's the main ump.
Umpires work in teams.
Yeah,
and they rotate. It's like behind the home plate guy. He'll be
Obviously,
behind
he'll
be behind home plate one game, then he'll be third base the next game.
Yeah.
First base the game after that. They rotate, and the crew works together all season.
Yeah.
There's no way he could murder an umpire and then just put on his gear and be like, I'm the umpire now.
Well, and to the coaches, you got to walk up, probably say something to the coach.
And he restarted the game. He's got to talk to somebody to do that.
Yeah,
it doesn't just happen.
Yeah, exactly.
But it did.
That was a total failure.
Yeah.
I don't know, at piecing that together, that part. But
I mean, it was real quick. It was entertaining as fuck.
No, super entertaining. I'm not trying to
made it such a better movie.
Yeah, 100%. I enjoyed it. I just thought that they could have tried to do something a little bit more to make
a little
it
more realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
But another thing is, Bobby, he fucking yells, this is him. Like as if both fucking teams, because now they're arguing, they're both teams around the fucking the home plate, no, was it a home run? And then he says, oh, that's fucking him. As if his team and the other team knew this whole scenario was happening. No one fucking knew that Bobby Ray's son is kidnapped. No one knew that this dude's a fucking murderer.
So to them, Bobby's just fist fighting the umpire because the umpire made a bad call, and everyone's on Bobby's side.
Everyone's on Bobby's side. So then Gil pulls out a fucking huge knife and stabs it. Well, he ends up getting tackled by Bobby, but as that happens, Gil stabs Bobby through his shoulder, and then as there's all these fucking people on him, somehow, gets up because they notice the knife, so they back off, is my assumption, and that's kind of how they showed it. But
so Bobby keeps screaming, he has my son, he has my son.
Yeah.
He has my son.
Well, right before this, though, this is what I wanted to say, or piece together, that the guy on the team with Bobby who's like, now we all have to wear number 11. I'm going to find his name right now. he ends up trying to defend. So it was Lance, John Kruk, and he ends up trying to defend Bobby from the umpire, and he just gets fucking murdered. He gets killed. He gets dropped. He gets dropped.
He does.
Yeah, and then his body is lying on the ground. He's fucking dead. And there's cops now. Everyone's drawing their weapons, about to shoot him. And instead of like taking him down, killing something, apparently Bobby has control over the police department. And it's just like tells everyone, like, no, don't do anything. Now I'm gonna tell you all. He is my son. Now you all know. Like,
Braden, he's Mr. Nimble. He controls the cops.
Yeah, I don't know. Fuck, you're right. Wesley Snipes. God damn it. But yeah, so I was just thinking, like, dude, no cop who just watched this dude who knows he's a murderer is just gonna like listen to you and be like, no, we're not gonna take him in. They're not gonna allow you to build up the suspense for him to. Okay, so Gil.
Real quick,
Yeah.
because Bobby says. I think he's still calling him Curly. I think at this point he's still calling him Curly.
Really?
And he says, Curly, where's my son? He says,
Yeah,
I don't know, Bobby. Maybe he's in the big stadium in the sky. So right before, they kind of killed this. I wish they would have shown Gil's son the scene where he's crying, talking to the police. Because the police go to Gil's son and they're like, is there anywhere that your dad likes to hang out? And he's like, he likes to hang out at the big stadium in the sky. That's where he used to play Little League ball.
You wish they didn't show that.
Wish they didn't show. I wish they.
So then it made
So when
more
he said
sense,
maybe he's in the big stadium in the
because
sky,
obviously
I would have
that's
thought, oh, he fucking killed him. All
Yeah,
right.
you wanted the perspective from
Yeah,
Bobby's
and they're
character,
showing like the
'cause that's what he
helicopters
thought.
going to the big stadium in the sky and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
like we knew, oh, the kid's gonna be there. Maybe the kid's dead there, but
That's what I was thinking. I was
Yeah,
thinking, oh
kid's
man,
gonna
this is
be
gonna
there.
be really dark, and he's
chopped
gonna be
the
dead.
kid up.
Because regardless, one of the main things that we forgot, I think, to mention too, is that he said that he wants to be like remembered. There was something like that. So
I want every time they say your name, they think of me too.
So the only way to do that, and that's why I thought for sure that his son is going to be dead, because the only way to do that is to kill his son.
Or to just do what he did.
I still don't. I mean, kind of.
Dude, looking at baseball today, if Fernando Tatis Jr. had a guy do all of this crazy shit with him, had Gil Renard do all this crazy shit to him, and it played out like this on the field, whenever someone said Fernando Tatis Jr. to me, I would be like, yeah, how about when that crazy guy like tried to murdered someone on the field and
You're
stuff.
right. I guess I'm just trying to think from Gil's character. I just feel like he would think to do enough for that to last, that he would end up murdering the kid. But no, you're all right.
So he says that, and they show, so Gil's son's crying, and he says that, he's like, is my daddy in trouble? And I'm like, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So they show that, and... But Bobby's just like, what do you want, Gil? What do you want? He's like, what do I want? I still haven't got to show you my best pitch. And like he looks up, sees himself on the Jumbotron, and then gets in his pitcher's stance, shakes off a call, nods, and he's holding a knife, not a baseball.
And then they're about to kill him again. Like they go to a shot of like the cop being like, oh, I'm really gonna kill him now. And then Bobby's like, no. As he's about to fucking throw a knife.
And so he winds up, he steps into, he's about to do the pitch, and then
they fucking
the cops just pepper him with bullets, and he falls down.
You know what I honestly thought was going to happen? I thought Steven Seagal was just going to make a cameo out of nowhere and just grab the knife.
There is no way you...
Aikido, something, and...
you honestly thought that was going to happen?
No, but I would have liked it. I thought it would have been great.
Yeah.
I mean, for the year...
Don't you fucking lie to me.
Steven
You
Seagal
honestly thought that was going to happen?
I was thinking how great it would have been.
Sure. Choose your fucking words next time, Braden. Dick.
How cool, though. Some
Would have been
Aikido
great.
move.
Would have been great.
Steven Seagal
It would have
nowhere,
fit.
stealing all the limelight. Like, that's totally who he is. Like, I don't know. I just thought it would have been funny.
And so Bobby runs up to Gil on the ground. He's like, Gil, where's my kid? Where's my kid? Why'd you do this? What do you want? Where's my kid? And Gil just goes, simple thank you would have been nice, Bobby.
He's bleeding out. He's like,
And then he dies.
yeah.
And then so they go to the stadium in the sky, and they find Bobby's kid there. And also on the wall, they see Gil Renard, 1960, whatever, Little League City Championship, 3-run home run, lifted their team to the win.
And then they started bringing back some of the pictures that they showed in the beginning with the poem. And it was like,
all of that.
yeah.
And then End credits.
And I was just thinking, fuck. Now I feel bad for Gil. No, I'm just kidding.
But this, I could not have imagined a better movie to have watched on Father's Day.
Oh yeah, I mean, what a treat.
Gil Renard is Father of the Year.
Yeah,
Hands down, without a doubt.
no, for sure.
But yeah, Father of the Year. Happy Father's Day, Gil Renard. Something we didn't touch on in the very beginning of the movie. Jack Black is in this.
Oh yeah,
It's during the radio show.
right in the beginning.
They're trying to get Bobby Rayburn on the phone, and Jack Black goes, "Yep, we got him. He's on line 1."
Fucking phenomenal.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Jack Black. This is 96. I don't know if he was up to anything else like prior to 96.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. Like, did this get the ball rolling for him?
This could have been, this could have been beginning of Jack Black's career. He's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. And
The fan, Robert De Niro and Wesley Snipes are in this. I'm going to connect the phone call.
Yeah.
Put the two main characters together. Boom. Done.
I could see the biggest manager in Hollywood being like, hey, I saw your one-liner and fucking...
He's going to say, hey, you were able to get De Niro and Snipes on the phone together.
No one
No one gets those
in
two
the
on
history of
phone
Hollywood
together.
has been able to do that. You're signed.
But yeah, so Jack Black. Braden, how much money did this movie make?
It actually didn't make any money. Well, I mean, it made some money. So it was $55 million to make, but
So their budget was 55.
yeah,
Okay.
but they only ended up bringing in $18 million, or at least that's what it says from Google, which 85% of users love this movie. So
I mean, I trust Google with my life.
yeah,
So you're telling me it lost like 37 million.
it flopped.
That is.
But hopefully now with the support from the 5-6 Kings,
Yeah, guys,
maybe
go-
it can make a comeback.
Go rent. So Braden streamed it illegally because he's a piece of shit and doesn't care about care about the people. I threw down $3.99 and I rented this movie, and I suggest everyone go do the same.
Yeah, well worth it.
Help him out, you know. I feel like I imagine the proceeds go to Gil Renard, his kid. Who that kid's had a rough life.
Yeah.
Gil Renard, God rest his soul, can't get the money, but his kid can get it.
Fuck, and his kids sold him out too. Yeah, we didn't get any resolution for him.
You know what? Yeah, no, fuck that kid.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all about Bobby Ray's kid.
And that's not him either. Kid ran from Gil. It's all about Gil Renard. That's what it comes down to for me. It's all about Gil Renard. He's the man.
You know what? I think I kind of could see if there was one other person to play Robert De Niro's character, who would it be? Who would you choose?
Fred DeLuca,
Yeah.
the founder of Subway. Yeah.
How about the dude from Unhinged? That dude,
The
Russell
dude from-
Crowe.
Yeah, Russell Crowe. So not 96 Russell Crowe.
Not 96.
2021 Russell Crowe.
Could fit.
I mean, he's played this role.
Maybe this is a big idea out there for some producer to get, the rights and the funding to make a second film
Make The Fan 2
starring Russell Crowe.
starring Russell Crowe and
Who would fill Wesley Snipes?
The Rock.
The Rock.
Yeah.
The fucking Rock.
Yeah.
Totally makes sense.
Because Russell Crowe is much physically bigger than Robert De Niro.
Mhm.
The Rock's much physically bigger than Wesley Snipes. That's the duo right there. Russell Crowe and The Rock. Make it happen, Hollywood.
Yeah. They would probably do really well in the box office. So,
There we go.
Good
We
idea.
Hollywood, we just gave you an idea after breaking down a movie. One of my favorite movies that I've not watched this movie in probably 15 years. I was too young when I saw it the first time, and it's just aged like fine wine with me.
and obviously movie critics don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
No,
If
fuck
IMDb,
fuck
Metacritic,
IMDb, fuck Rotten Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomatoes.
It's Google users, baby.
Yeah, Google users, the real viewers, the real critics.
So everybody listening, not listen, everybody listening, please go rent this movie. Please buy it,
Yeah.
Throw down a little more money.
Maybe-
Buy the movie, then you own it. You can have some friends over.
Happy
you guys
Father's
can
Day
watch
gift.
it. Yeah.
You know?
It's day late, but if you haven't gotten Dad anything for Father's Day, buy him The Fan. starring Robert De Niro and Wesley Snipes.
And maybe even a Subway sandwich.
A Subway sandwich, and create an Instagram account for him and follow the 5-6 Kings on Instagram.
So go
like, share, subscribe, do everything on every platform that you can get a podcast for the 5-6 Kings. It's what Dad would have wanted. And if your dad's dead, do an in memoriam, like a memorial profile for him. And still like, share, subscribe. You know, your dad would have wanted you to support the 5-6 Kings.
Yep. Yeah. Just like, what's his name? Who's Gil's son? Just like Gil's.
You said his name, Richie.
Richie. Just like Richie would have wanted for Gil. So go out, buy it.
Like Gil would have wanted for Richie.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. You got it backwards. We don't care what Richie wants. It's all about what Gil wants.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah. Guys, go, if you haven't followed us on Instagram, go follow us at 5-6 Kings. You're obviously listening to this on some platform. Leave us a rating. Leave us a review. Say some nice things about us. Say some nice things about me, mean things about Braden if you could, because it hurts Braden's feelings and he gets upset. And he's like, it's bullshit. Like, why do they think that about me? And I don't know why, but for some reason that brings me joy.
Yeah, I'm getting nervous already thinking about the comments. So,
well, guys, thank you for listening. We're going to have another movie for you next week.
Yeah.
And hopefully you come back. Braden, it's been fun.
It's been a blast.
All right, guys, we'll see you next week.
Bitch, I'm from Palm Beach County. That's where I'm